Far Cry 3 has one simple question: did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? And after spending dozens of hours hunting collectibles, getting mauled by the local wildlife, and gambling my life savings away for a poker trophy, I think I finally understand what Vaz meant. Because today, we're heading back to the Rook Islands to see whether Far Cry 3 still deserves its legendary status, or if we've just been blinded by nostalgia and dubstep. Back in 2012, this game completely took over the internet. Vaz became one of gaming's most iconic villains overnight, everyone suddenly loved flamethrowers, and somehow burning weed fields to Skrillex became one of the greatest missions ever created. Then, Ubisoft looked at all of this success, and somehow we ended up here. So today, we're diving back into the chaos to earn the Platinum Trophy for Far Cry 3 and answer the question, does the game still hold up after 14 years? Before we jump in, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe and let me know in the comments which of the Far Cry games is your favourite. The story kicks off with us and our friends partying on a tropical beach. There's alcohol, exotic animals, cliff diving, base jumping. Honestly, it just looks like the world's most expensive lad's holiday. Unfortunately, reality kicks the door down almost immediately because we suddenly wake up locked in a cage with our brother Grant while some psychopath watches holiday clips from our phone like it's movie night. This is Vaz Montenegro, played by Michael Mando, who absolutely steals every scene that he's in. Even all these years later, the guy is still unsettling as fuck. The second he leaves, Grant manages to slip free from his restraints and starts getting us out too. We lure a guard over, Grant snaps into action and instantly kills him. Apparently, military training turns you into Batman. The next sequence has us sneaking through the pirate camp while Grant repeatedly tries to whisper, "Stay quiet." Eventually, we reach the edge of the camp and finally stop to take a look at the map for clues about where our friends are being held, before Grant immediately gets shot through the neck. Vaz appears out of nowhere and decides to turn our escape into a game. He gives us a 30-second head start and tells us to run into the jungle while his men hunt us for sport. After a frantic sprint through the jungle and a helicopter destroying the bridge we were standing on, we fall into the river below and unlock the first blood trophy. We later wake up inside a small hut where we're introduced to Dennis, one of the Rakyat warriors. Apparently surviving Vaz's camp is a pretty big deal around here because Dennis and the rest of the town immediately starts treating us like the chosen one. Our reward is $60, which naturally means the first thing we do is buy a pistol. Our first real objective is climbing one of Vaz's radio towers. These things are spread across the island to monitor the area and conveniently function as Ubisoft's favourite collectible mechanic from the early 2010s. After unlocking more of the map, we immediately GTA a random civilian's car and head off hunting. Animal hides in Far Cry 3 are essential because they let you craft bigger ammo pouches, weapon holsters and loot bags, meaning that the local wildlife is about to have a very rough day. Dennis later introduces us to crafting and the Tatao skill system, where we gradually turn our forearm into a GCSE art project while unlocking new skill abilities. There's also a trophy tied to unlocking every skill in the game, so we'll be slowly working towards that throughout the playthrough. Before we can continue upgrading ourselves though, we intercept a radio message from one of Vaz's men transporting an American prisoner nearby. Naturally, we head straight to the location and end up in the Mahina plantations to investigate. I do initially attempt stealth here, but honestly, what's the point? Inside the safe house, we discover that the prisoner has already escaped and fled west through the jungle. Dennis points us towards a Dr. Earnhardt, and sure enough, he's taken our friend Daisy in after her genius survival strategy involves sprinting through poisonous plants. To help her recover, we now need to enter a nearby cave and collect some special mushrooms, because apparently this game wasn't insane enough already. On the way there, we slaughter enough boar to craft our 5th equipment upgrade and unlock the artsy crafty trophy. Inside the cave, things quickly spiral out of control. We nearly drown, climb through glowing caverns and accidentally step on some mushrooms, sending Jason into another dimension entirely. Eventually, after a crazy trip, we recover Earnhardt's requested mushrooms and return to the crazy doctor. Daisy finally wakes up and immediately breaks down after learning that her boyfriend Grant died during the escape. Meanwhile, Earnhardt spends half of the conversation referring to her as Agnes for some reason, but thankfully agrees to let our friends use his mountain retreat as a safe house. Completing the mission unlocks the Magic Mushroom Story Trophy, and Dennis immediately radios in with another job. To speed up the search for our friends, we need to steal intel from Vaz's pirates aboard a beached ship called the Medusa. The second we arrive though, the game once again demands stealth, my favourite mechanic. Thankfully, this mission actually wasn't too bad. We silently eliminate the radio operators using our newly unlocked takedown skill and sneak into the control room. Inside, we discover that Vaz has been recording ransom videos somewhere called PC before before the alarm inevitably goes off and everything descends into absolute chaos. Unfortunately for the pirates, I'd recently been playing Battlefield, but even with a shitty pistol, we tear through them pretty quickly. Once the area is secure, we go ahead and purchase our 5th skill to unlock the Inked Up trophy before Dennis radios us again. This time, Vaz is planning on retaliating by launching an attack on a Manaki village. Back at the village, one of the Rakyat warriors suggests sabotaging one of the pirates' nearby weapon caches to weaken them. On the journey there, we spend some more time hunting before this happens.
Oh, fuck!
Which does at least earn us the Hunter Hunted trophy. Once we infiltrate the camp, things do actually go surprisingly smoothly. We disable the alarms, quietly eliminate several guards, and sneak into the main building to plant the explosives. We then have 15 seconds to escape the area, which would be more than enough time if every animal on the island wasn't trying to actively kill us. While we're working on clearing the remaining enemies, Dennis confirms that PC actually stands for Pirates Cove. Truly groundbreaking naming. The cove is where Vaz has a prison, so we then have to force our way inside of the cove. We unlock the Island Paparazzi trophy, tagging 25 enemies with the camera before eventually blasting our way inside using a stolen shotgun. We hear a girl screaming somewhere deeper in the compound, only to realise it's just a recording. Almost immediately afterwards, we're ambushed by the pirates and wake up tied to a chair alongside our girlfriend Lisa and our friend Oliver. Vaz has completely lost his shit during this scene, and unfortunately for us, he's holding both a lighter and a can of petrol, so you can probably guess where this is going. Yeah, he sets fire to the building and leaves us to burn while taking Oliver with him. We eventually break free and sprint back upstairs to rescue Lisa before she gets barbecued. After escaping the burning building, we steal a vehicle and blast the pursuing pirates with a grenade launcher while tearing through the jungle. Once we finally reach safety, Lisa reveals that Oliver was taken somewhere called the bunker, and completing the mission unlocks the worst date ever trophy. Since we don't actually know where the bunker is, we return to Earnhardt's house, where Daisy has apparently spent her time repairing a boat in a cave.
Bravo!
Dennis soon radios in and explains that if we want to defeat Vaz, we'll need to become stronger, which apparently means meeting with the enemy's sister, Citra. At the temple, Citra immediately laughs in our face because she thinks that we're weak, but after hearing that Vaz murdered our brother, she agrees to help, as long as we recover something important that was stolen from her people. Dennis, who apparently speaks fluent spiritual nonsense, encourages us to drink the mystery liquid Citra hands over, and once again, we start tripping absolute balls. During this hallucination, we follow a mysterious man dressed in white through a shantytown while reliving fragments of our memories from earlier in the game. Eventually, we discover what Sidra wants back, an ancient knife tied to the Rakyat warriors. Once the hallucination finally ends, Dennis points us towards a shantytown to the east, and we unlock the One of Us trophy. Our next destination is Badtown, which sounds reassuring already. The journey there gives us time to capture enough radio stations so that we can earn the Full Bars trophy. We get repeatedly attacked by wildlife.
Oh no, it's a bear!
As well as Jungle Journal for unlocking 50 entries in the Survivor Guide. Eventually we arrive in Badtown and head to the local bar, which looks exactly like the one from our vision. While sitting at a poker table, the mysterious man in white appears. We now have to tail him through the town without being detected, until we corner him inside a house. Or at least we try to. He has rigged the building to explode unless we identify ourselves first. Thankfully, after confirming that we're Jason Brody, we head downstairs and he eventually agrees to help and introduces himself as Willis, who is in fact a CIA operative investigating Vaz and his employer, Hoyt. According to Willis, Hoyt is somehow even more unhinged than Vaz, which honestly feels impressive. To get their attention, Willis suggests we burn down one of Hoyt's weed farms, and this mission is still every bit as legendary as people remember. The second Make It Bundum starts playing, we grab the flamethrower and turn the entire plantation into a war crime. Flames erupt everywhere, dubstep blasts through the speakers, and suddenly it's 2012 all over again. After burning every last field, we fight through the waves of enemies, kill a juggernaut that honestly dies way too quickly, and destroy a boat attempting to escape with the remaining product. Still probably high off the fumes, we return to Willis, who tells us that Hoyt and Vaz are finally starting to take us seriously. Apparently, Oliver is being moved to a new location, and the transport manifest is currently stored in Barristown. On the way there, we somehow manage to liberate an outpost, completely undetected, and unlock the Unheard trophy. I genuinely don't know how that happened. Eventually, we arrive at a house overlooking the rice fields, where Willis confirms that our target is a pirate leader named Rongo. Thankfully, we'd picked up a sniper rifle, which makes short work of most of the guards by channeling our inner sniper elite. Unfortunately, sniper rifles aren't very effective against landmines. After helping Rongo survive the assault and defending his house, Willis decodes the manifest and directs us towards the old road to intercept Oliver's convoy. When we finally arrive though, there's nothing except lizards. Yeah, the convoy has already moved to the fishery, so we rush over and take our position overlooking the area. As soon as Oliver starts to be moved towards the helicopter, we rain down sniper overwatch. Eventually I do manage to sort my aim out, which gives him just enough time to steal a nearby boat. What follows is one of the game's best escape sequences, as we destroy pirate boats, trucks and even a helicopter while fleeing through the water. Once we reach safety, we unlock the hands off my stoner trophy and reunite Oliver with the others back at the cave. Shortly afterwards, Willis informs us that our friend Keith has been stolen by a local psychopath named Buck, and for some reason Jason now thinks that he's got jokes.
So his name is Buck, and he lacks the
And then there's that big awkward silence, you know.
Before dealing with that though, we restock at the shop, which unlocks the Money to Burn trophy, which is earned for spending $5,000. As Willis said, Buck can be found in the bar in Badtown, and within about 10 seconds it becomes obvious that the guy is completely insane.
Ah, him. He said his name was...
He agrees to release our friend Keith, but only if we deliver him the same ancient knife that Citro was looking for. The knife's location is supposedly known by a treasure hunter currently being held captive by the pirates, meaning that our first step is tracking down a nearby ship to recover the coordinates. On the way there, we liberate our third outpost and unlock the Rebel with a Cause trophy. After commandeering a jet ski, we board the ship, clear out the guards, find some sort of ancient compass and download the data from the onboard computer. Naturally, the ship immediately starts to explode after we've completed the download. We barely escape with our life and wash ashore where Buck conveniently appears again like the world's creepiest Uber driver. Using the compass we recovered on the ship, we begin tracking down several ancient ruins until we finally locate the knife itself. We return to Buck and hand him the knife. We then find Keith downstairs. He's in a bad way, but at least we've bought his freedom. We go to leave, but obviously nothing can ever be that simple on this island. Buck betrays us immediately and the confrontation ends in a brutal knife fight. After winning the QuickTime event, we poetically kill him with the very knife he wanted so badly. Keith is rescued and the Retake Wall Street trophy unlocks, as we bring him back to the cave to meet the others. He's understandably traumatised, but confirms what we already feared. Our younger brother Riley is already dead. Even with Keith rescued, we still need to find a way off of the island, so we return the knife to Citra. She immediately asks for even more help because apparently we are now the island's unpaid intern. Before we can begin though, Dennis interrupts with news about a major pirate convoy ambush. Our next objective is meeting the Rakyat leader coordinating the attack in Churchtown. Along the way we craft our 25th syringe and unlock the Needle Exchange trophy. The ambush is going down in Churchtown and we fittingly find the leader inside the church. He is preparing the ambush, but asks us to plant the explosives on a fuel truck before taking position atop a water tower. Once the convoy arrives, the explosives detonate and we go full American sniper on the remaining pirates. Unfortunately, the armoured truck does manage to escape and we're forced into a chase sequence. When we finally catch up though, Vaz himself emerges from the vehicle and knocks us unconscious. We then get the scene. When we wake up, our hands and feet are tied to a cinder block, while Vaz leans over and says,
"Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is?"
While he rambles on, we slowly realise what's about to happen.
We're gonna die!
And yep, he kicks us straight into the lake. Somehow we manage to free ourselves while underwater and escape to the surface alive, because apparently drowning is merely a suggestion in this universe. Now stripped of our gear, we're forced to stealth through the nearby village armed with absolutely nothing. That does change the second that we grab a weapon from an enemy.
Great success.
But at this point, stealth immediately leaves the building. After clearing the village, we hijack a helicopter and attempt to escape, only for a final pirate to fire an RPG directly into us. Somehow we survive this again, but then Vaz casually shoots us. And somehow we survive that too, because of plot armour. I mean, the bullet apparently hit our lighter. Sure, Ubisoft, whatever you say. We now need to recover our equipment by sneaking through yet another outpost. Except this time, every enemy only has a machete, meaning that it's pure melee combat. There is technically one armed guard, but it's a juggernaut, and honestly, fuck that. We sprint past him, recover our gear, unlock the Have I Told You trophy, and immediately blow the juggernaut to pieces with a C4. Still hunting Vaz, we return to Citra, who once again hands us mystery drugs. We immediately enter another hallucination, where we battle against a gigantic ink monster using explosive arrows before stabbing it directly in the eye with the ceremonial knife. Once we recover, we have now fully embraced the warrior lifestyle, and we vow to lead the Rakyat against Vaz. Which brings us onto the assault of Vaz's compound. We initially attempt stealth here, but I completely forgot that I swapped out my suppressed sniper for a variable zoom sniper. So stealth once again goes out the window instantly. And after fighting our way through the compound, we discover that the entire attack was a trap, and we are forced into a brutal confrontation with Vaz himself. He stabs us, triggering one last hallucination, where we fight through multiple versions of him before finally confronting the real Vaz face to face. This time we finish the job and unlock the taken for granted trophy. Back at the temple, Jason decides that he no longer wants to leave the island after everything that he's experienced. Honestly, at this point the man has completely snapped, but before dealing with his existential crisis, we need to kill Hoyt. Back at the cave, we try to explain to our friends that Willis can smuggle us onto Hoyt's island so that we can take care of him once and for all, but they don't seem convinced, and after one final argument with them, we head back to the Amanaki village. Here we purchase every attachment and camo available for one weapon and unlock the aftermarket junkie trophy before meeting Willis. Apparently though, he's leaving for Russia in 5 minutes, but he offers us a lift to Hoyt's island on the way out.
Fuck, we better haul ass.
Here we have to defend him while he repairs his plane, and eventually clear enough pirates to escape, and while flying over Hoyt's island, we receive one final gift from him, a wingsuit. This allows us to leap directly from the plane and glide onto Hoyt's island, unlocking the higher than a kite trophy. Once there, we head to the Crazy Cock Bar to meet Willis's undercover contact, Sam. After spotting him downstairs and playing a round of poker, we follow him upstairs and he immediately points a gun directly at us. Once we mention Willis's name though, Sam relaxes and explains the next plan. Since Hoyt has never actually seen us before, we're going undercover by stealing a mercenary uniform and infiltrating his operation from the inside. Simple enough in theory, in practice, maybe not. At the cenote, we're tasked with sneaking up to the recruitment camp without being spotted and without killing any guards, which goes about as well as you'd expect. Eventually though, we reach the lower caverns, quietly eliminate a lone guard and steal his uniform. This disguise conveniently covers our tattoos, which apparently makes us invisible to the enemy. Before Hoyt's recruitment meeting, another mercenary quietly reveals that he's been stealing from Hoyt and asks us if he wants in, because apparently even pirates are in a cost of living crisis. After the meeting, Sam reveals the next phase of the plan: eliminate the traitors, earn Hoyt's trust and eventually get close enough to kill him. There's still quite a few trophies left to earn, but now that we're undercover and can move freely around the island, we're going to focus mostly on story progression for now. Sam later directs us to an old temple where the traitors are supposedly hiding the role sheet that we need to give to Hoyt. After making our way through the ruins and looting several elite enemies, we discover that none of them actually have it, but we do uncover the details of a future handover meeting. At the exchange location, we head to the meeting point and use our disguise to move through the camp almost completely unnoticed. That is until one of the guards understandably questions why we're photographing everything. Once the deal begins, we launch the attack and the whole mission erupts into chaos almost immediately. The enemies here are ridiculously aggressive and swarm me several times before I finally manage to secure the roll sheet. I probably could have escaped quietly using the wingsuit, but instead we start sniping everybody in sight before eventually flying away anyway. Now it's finally time to meet Hoyt. Inside his compound, we present the roll sheet with the photographs while Sam vouches for us. To prove our loyalty further, Hoyt tasks us with interrogating a prisoner in the basement. It's only once we reach the cells that we realise who the prisoner actually is. Riley is alive. Unfortunately, the entire interrogation is being recorded, meaning instead of an emotional reunion, we're forced to repeatedly punch our own brother in the face until Sam can loop the security footage. Surprisingly, Riley takes this pretty well, all things considered. After the interrogation, Hoyt finally trusts us and invites us to a poker night. The deep cover story trophy unlocks and Sam reveals the final phase of the operation. We first sabotage Hoyt's communication by infiltrating a restricted bunker and destroying the satellite dish. Since our disguise doesn't work in restricted zones, this quickly devolves into a massive firefight. Along the way, we also unlock the Love the Boom trophy for killing 4 enemies with 1 RPG shot before eventually escaping in Sam's helicopter and blowing up the satellite. Next, we attack Hoyt's fuel depot. While we plant explosives throughout the facility, Sam mans the mounted machine gun. With Hoyt weakened, we return to his compound for a friendly game of poker. Immediately, something feels wrong. After the first hand, Hoyt casually stabs Sam dead. So it turns out that he knew our identity the entire time. What follows is one of the most tense scenes in the game, as Hoyt literally cuts off one of our fingers and then forces us into a knife fight. During the hallucination-filled duel, Hoyt reveals Riley is about to be sold into slavery before we finally unalive him and unlock the Poker Night trophy. Now there's only one thing left to do: save our brother. After some questionable driving, we reach the airstrip and unleash our Inner Face clan, quickscoping pirates left and right until we finally rescue Riley. With no other escape option available, we have to rely on Riley, who recently earned his pilot's license. Good enough, I guess. While Riley flies the helicopter, we man the mounted gun and absolutely annihilate any remaining pirates, all of the boats, all of the jeeps and all of the helicopters. Eventually we return to Earnhardt's house expecting a happy reunion, only to discover the place burning to the ground. Earnhardt is dying nearby and tells us that our friends have been taken to Citra's temple before finally passing away. At the temple, Citra leads us through one final hallucination, where we walk the path of the warrior and recover a glowing version of the ancient knife. When reality finally snaps back into place, we discover ourselves holding the blade to Lisa's throat. It is here that the game presents its final choice: save our friends or stay with Citra. Before we find out who Jason fancies more, if you're enjoying the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It really does help me more than you'd know. Seeing as we still have around 20 trophies left to clean up, it's bye bye Lisa. After choosing Citra, Jason impregnates her but then is immediately stabbed to death. This unlocks the gold What a Trip trophy and the game drops us back into free roam like absolutely nothing happened. At this point, most of the remaining trophies revolve around exploration, side content and combat cleanup. The Island Liberator trophy requires you to clear all 34 compounds in the game. I decided to go for this one first because it will massively help us grab the remaining trophies, as you can fast travel between liberated outposts. While clearing up the map, we also mop up several combat trophies, including Heartless Pyro for 50 flamethrower kills, Improper Use for killing an enemy with the repair tool, Toxophilite for sniping someone with a bow from 70 meters away, and Never Saw It Coming for performing a takedown from a zipline. After liberating the final outpost, Island Liberator unlocks. With island-wide fast travel available, the collectible cleanup becomes much easier, and we gather 60 relics for Archaeology 101, all 20 letters of the lost for dead letters, and every memory card for memory to spare. Then it was time for some side quests. By completing a supply drop mission, we unlock Road Trip. Completing a Wanted Dead contract earns In Cold Blood. For finding the washed up actor, we unlock Say Hi to the Internet, and for completing a Path of the Hunter mission earns us Bagged and Tagged. We also hunt down a rare man-eating shark to unlock the Poacher trophy, and with the Platinum finally in reach, we can finish off the remaining miscellaneous trophies. The Freefall trophy unlocks after surviving a 100-meter drop, the Good Stuff pops after crafting a special syringe, the Fearless or Stupid trophy requires you to dive deeper than 60 meters underwater, Rock Always Wins needs you to distract 25 enemies with rock throws, and Fully Inked unlocks after purchasing every skill in the game. Which leaves us with just one final trophy, Poker Bully, and honestly this one can be a pain in the ass. To unlock it, you need to win a total of $1,500 through poker. Theoretically, this can be done naturally in around 5 consecutive wins, but because poker is completely luck based, that method can take forever. Thankfully, PSN Profiles details an easier method. Since we've already completed the story and have liberated every outpost, we are able to start the Father's Burden side quest at the Harmonies Gas and Repair. During the mission, the game forces you into a poker match, meaning you can simply spam all in repeatedly until the final trophy pops. This is then of course followed immediately by the Master the Jungle Platinum trophy. Far Cry 3 was one of my favourite games growing up. After revisiting it all these years later, I still think it holds up incredibly well. The gunplay is fun, the open world is chaotic, Vaz remains one of gaming's greatest villains, and despite Ubisoft copying this formula into the ground in the years to follow, there's still something special about Far Cry 3 that the later games just never quite captured. The only Far Cry game that I genuinely still want to try is Far Cry Primal, purely because fighting mammoths and saber-toothed tigers with sticks sounds like a dream. So if you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments below, and if you've enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe.